Hello everyone, my name's Maddie and this is a video about shopping for cross-stitch in Japan. So I recently got back from my trip and one of my main focuses while I was over there was trying to find the best places to shop for cross-stitch in Kyoto and Tokyo, because cross-stitch is my obsession. I really got deep into it in 2022, I think, was when I started getting like multiple whips and found floss tube. So I'm going to take you through what I have on this table here. You can't really see most of it at the moment, which is all of my haul. And I'm also going to explain a little bit about the shops that I went to, what they stocked, and we'll hopefully have some, I don't know if you call it B-roll, but I'll have some footage of some of the shelves there. Some places I forgot to film in or I didn't think it was appropriate. And hopefully I'll be able to gather all the addresses and information and throw that in the description box. So the first place that I visited, which is more fabric related, so I guess this video isn't entirely cross stitch. I also do sewing. I make a lot of bags for my cross stitch, and I've recently started making like little sling bags and backpacks, that kind of thing. So I've shopped for some fabric for that kind of stuff. The first place that I hit up was Nomura Tailor. That's the website there. It's a beautiful fabric store in the shopping, I don't know if you call it an arcade, it's like a covered shopping streets in Kyoto. It's near the Nishiki fish market, I believe, which is also popular. There's a samurai and ninja museum in the shopping arcade. I feel like that's really popular with a lot of tourists as well. So I feel like it's fairly central. I think it's not that far from Kyoto Station, so it was pretty easy to get to. And everything is displayed beautifully. Hopefully I'll show you some of the footage. So I'll go through the fabric that I bought. I just got pre-cut, so these are all 110 by 50 centimeters. So this is a green one with like mushrooms and bunnies and stuff on it. Beautiful fabric. And I tend to, when I'm buying fabric, buy things in like pairs or sets. So this is the fabric that I thought would go beautifully with the green one. Some mushrooms. There's something about it, honestly, I don't know. Part of the mushroom crate is along with everybody else. I don't know if it has the fabric content written on here. I think these are all cottons, but I honestly don't have enough fabric knowledge to know like what all of the kanji are for the different fabric contents. So that piece was 390 yen, this one was 495, 495 yen. I might have broken my own rule with this one. So this piece was 590 yen. Bunnies. Super neutral fabric, super cute. It could go as a lining for a lot of different project bags, I think. Also like $340 yen. But we've been saving, I think, over 2 years now. And these are my hobbies and my passions, so we've all got our own justifications about what we'd spend money on. So if you're uncomfortable with a big haul, or you're not really into seeing like a whole heap of stuff shown that somebody's purchased, then feel free to skip this video and head off to a different one that would make you feel better. This one will go together with that one, and it is 1,732 yen, this one. So that's one of the more expensive ones. I assume that has to do with the fiber content, but like I said, I just don't have enough knowledge to know. And these are a set of 3 that I got to go together. It was really hard for me to choose one of these prints that has the gold detailing. So there's a lot of these different prints in a lot of the different stores that I visited. Like the typical Japanese kimono style fabric. But this one was pink and has cats. And I just love it. What more can I say? So that one will go with, it's 490 yen for that piece. And this one's 340. Just a classic sort of Japanese style pattern there. This one was 400 yen. That's a bit of a textured weave to the fabric. Some little sakura blossoms there. All in that same dusty sort of pink tone as the cat's fabric here, which will be the main fabric for whatever project this gets made into. Maybe a sling bag, since I've got 3 pieces of fabric, I'll have a bit extra, so maybe something like that. And then we've got these 2, 340 yen, 990. This one I think is hilarious. It's like animals fighting each other. Toads and rabbits and I think they're riding I don't know if they're riding a horse or a boar. There's a monkey in there as well. I just think they're so funny. They made me giggle. And I thought this little dark fabric would go great with it. So those are all the fabrics that I got from Nomura Tailor House. I also picked up some Cosmo needles as well, which I'm keeping in this little zipper. So am I keeping them in here, or did I just lie to you? I just lied to you. I picked up some needles as well. I think I've started using them already, just like cross-stitch needles, Cosmo brand. And I also picked up these, which are like the snag nabbit tool for pulling little snags in your fabric, but they work great on cross-stitch for the same thing. So that's those, a little picture on the back. So that was everything from Nomura Tailor House. I didn't check out any of the other like fabric patchwork cross-stitch kind of stores in Kyoto because we were only there for a few days. But I did go to a stationery store and picked up this doohickey. So I've seen a few other people on FlossTube using book stands to hold their patterns. And this one looked great to me because it's made out of metal, so my needle minders will fit to it, so I can put my pattern on here and I can hold it down with my needle minders. So if I wanted to use it for a book, it's got these little rubber covered ends on it. It's got a sort of non-slip grip here, felt on the bottom. Can't remember how much it was. I pulled off the packaging to bring it home. I pulled the packaging off a lot of things before we left just to pack them all in the suitcase and make them fit. So that's like a stationery purchase that's cross-stitch adjacent. We also went to the Pokemon Mega Center in Tokyo. So this is another cross-stitch adjacent purchase. It was one of like 2 or 3 things that I got at the Pokemon Center. And it's this little zipper pouch. And I've started trying Sashiko, so I've got all of my bits and bobs for Sashiko in here. I've got a thimble that I picked up at Echizenya, which is a store I'll talk about a little bit later, but it's one in Tokyo. And I got Cosmo, so I've got all of the packaging all mixed up. So This is not Cosmo brand, I lied to you. This is Hidamari Sashiko needles. So that's the branding there. If I turn them over, you can see them at the same time. Genius. So I picked up those to try Sashiko because it's becoming more and more popular worldwide, I feel like now. And it is part of Cosmo brand. I didn't lie to you. Those are in there. I got threads at a different store as well, and flossers. Anyway, this is just a great size zipper pouch to have all of those little bits and bobs in. I love it. Came with the bow. I added the keychain to it, but it came with the bow and the pearl, and it's got a little handle, and it's just cute, right? I love cute stuff. So there's that. The next thing we did was a workshop that I booked through Klook is the app, Klook. Klook app. I booked a purse making workshop for me and my boyfriend at a pottery and craft shop in Seikyodo, which is near or in Asakusa. So that's not on the Yamamoto line in Tokyo, that's just off. It's like 1 or 2 stops over on the Ginza line if you're looking at the train networks. And we made pouches. So we booked in to make the pouch, and the little one was a freebie that we used as a practice. So we got to pick out our fabric, and then we were given a template to cut it out. This is keeping my floss ends from another project, but everything was supplied for us. We didn't need to bring anything. The teacher was wonderful, very friendly. She had a few words in English and a little translator machine there with her, so super lovely. Had a great time. We booked in, I think, for an 11 a.m. and there were 2 other people there as well, so I think she only does 4 people at a time for one session. But yeah, it was just great. So that's my little one. And this is my big one. We made the little one first. Like I said, it's a bit of a practice run. And then you can choose what size and shape you want to make. So this was one option. There was another one that was like more curved at the top. And there was another one again, I can't remember because I didn't choose that one, but I picked this one because I thought it would be a little bit like this. I could keep like a pair of scissors, an extra pair of needles. No, this is not knitting, this is cross stitch. An extra needle or needles for cross stitch. And I chose the red inside because I thought that was super fun. So there's a few layers to it. It's the piece of fabric, and then I think there's an interfacing of some sort that you stick on, and then the lining of them is also sticky on one side. So it's super easy, no sewing, it's just cutting, sticking, gluing. So super beginner friendly, very fun, definitely something that I would recommend. I'll pop the information in the description, like the address for the actual shop itself, and then the link to Klook, which is where I booked it from. Next place we hit was Nippori Fabric Town. So that's their little mascot there, and this is the map you can pick up from the station or throughout the street. There's all different shops will have this little brochure in there. So this is basically a street that is full of fabric shops. I think there's 86 listed on this little brochure. Different fabric, they call it handiwork. The translation to English is like handwork or handiwork stores. So that covers leather, fabric, patchwork, dressmaking, cross stitch, embroidery, all of that kind of stuff. So there's the back of it that has all the different stores, and their little they have little messages or information about what they have in the store. If it would focus, that would be brilliant. but I don't know if we're going to be that lucky. You can find it on their website as well. They have a website for Nippori Fabric Town. You can just search it, or maybe the QR code will work, I don't know. But Nippori Fabric Town. So we spent half a day there, maybe more. I didn't go to all of the stores because there is a lot of like dressmaking and clothes making stores, and I'm not really making clothes at the moment. Maybe I'll get back into it a little bit later, but that wasn't something that I had planned to purchase. I'll go through the fabric that I bought. Now I'm hoping that the fabric in here is what I bought in Nippori Fabric Town and not stuff that I bought at Yuzawaya later. I did mix everything up a little bit to get it to fit in the suitcases. So I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate. One of the main shops in Japan for fabric and other handicraft items is called Tomato, and they have different stores all over Tokyo. I think there's 3 or 4 different Tomato stores on Nippori Fabric Town. So I think I ended up visiting all of them, if I'm being honest. I can't remember exactly, but there's that one. Like I said, I don't know if I got this at Yuzawaya. I think I might have, so don't hold me to it. This fabric. This one was rolled up in a bin in a little store that had all sorts of like pre-cut fabric on the bottom floor. Hopefully I'll have a little video of the store to give you an idea of what it was like. Beautiful. There's this one I picked up in the Tomato store, the multi-story one. There's one that's got like 5 floors. I think that I got this on floor 4, maybe on 5. I got this in the multi-story Tomato store. This was on like floor 3 or something, I think. I love Sumikko Gurashi. I think they're so cute. How much did I get? I think I got a half a meter. Yeah, I got half a meter of almost everything that I bought. So half a meter of this one was $9.35, potentially 850 yen before tax. Oh, and this one's got a little stamp. It's 100% cotton, so that's nice. There's this one. I haven't found a fabric pairing for this one or the Sumikko, or I think, yeah, these two go together, so give you an idea. Those two go together. It's a little bag or something out of that. The one that goes with this one I bought later. The one that goes with this one I bought later. I don't have pairings for these two fabrics, so, but I figured a white would go really nice with the Sumikko Gurashi, and I've got no idea what I'm going to put with the deer fabric, but I love it. So the next lots of fabric are secret. That's all you're going to see of them. Oh, this was one of my favorite stores. This little so it was one of the first stores that I went to. Hopefully I've got a photo of their like outside the building, or I can find them again. But it was just like a little hole in the wall tiny store, but they had pre-cut lengths. The person who was working at the shop that day spoke English as well, so we had a little chat about where I was from. It was just a really nice experience, and they've got a good selection of like different tools as well. I didn't pay a huge amount of attention to what the wall was lined with, but you know the wall I'm talking about that has like the scissors and the thimbles and the bias tape makers and, you know, all of the extra haberdashery. I don't know if that's the right word, but bits and bobs. So those two fabrics are going to go together. I don't know why I was drawn to this, but like, look at that fish and the green water. Sorry, I think it goes this way. Yeah, And the green water, I don't know, it's not something I would normally be drawn to, but I loved it. And the green fabric to go with it. This is definitely going to make an amazing project bag, so that's what this is going to be. So that'll be like the back panel, and then all of the other bits and bobs and the insides there. And then I've got a lonely bunny rabbit fabric. That goes with something else. I don't think, no, I didn't buy them together. It's got a pair. Maybe, no, I didn't buy those together. I don't know what I bought to go with this. Cute bunnies. I do have one that goes with it. So I remember I bought 2 sets there, but it has wandered off. Maybe we'll find it later in the haul. And then I just said that I wasn't into clothes making, but these were a really good deal. They were in the bottom of the 5-story tomato store. They have the discount floor on the bottom. So I got these. This is 1.7 meters for 850 yen. And this is 1.8 meters for 900 yen, 100% cotton. I think it's like a quilting cotton, if I'm not mistaken. But nearly 4 meters there of this fabric that I could make into something. I'm thinking like a skirt would be cute, or even like a blouse might be cute. These were another find, I think. These are iron-on patches. I could be wrong, but I think these are iron-on patches of Sumiko Gurashi. It's like a, I think it's a kids show, Sumiko Gurashi, but I just love them. I love these little characters. I'm not like a super big Sanrio fan, but these guys have got my heart. Look at them. Another find at the discount floor of Tomato. So these are like offcuts or ends of lace or trim. So this one was 360 yen. I think there's 6 meters there. This is 200 yen for 2 meters of this yellow one. 4 meters of this pink one for 240 yen. And what I'm thinking with for those is like for making my bags, I thought they'd be cute to like add to the bags as like a little trim. I know some people do it like near the zipper. They have like lace trim. And I thought that was cute. I wanted to try it, so I thought I'd pick up the discounted lace. Another store that I went to was like all of this embroidered specialty, like I think it's a ribbon. I don't really know exactly what it is. Oh, I just broke this seal. So this is ETSUKO trimming is the label. I just tore it. The whole store is just this beautiful lace, or like, how do you describe it? So this was 966, I'd say. And I think I got what was left on the bolt here. Do I pull it apart? Oh, I really want to show you. So that's all embroidered on there. I assume it's, yeah, it's got to be machine embroidered onto this like tool, and it turns it into this ribbon. And like the whole store was full of this, and it's just beautiful. This is another one. It looks more like brocade. If you've ever seen a brocade fabric, it looks more like that. This was beautiful. 500 yen. I think I may have only got a meter of this. Stunning. I saw the store and I thought it was beautiful, and I thought, well, I'm here. I might as well pick up a few things. You know, I haven't seen this in Australia before, and that's what you do, right? You just pick up, and this is a, it was an off-cut, like a pre-cut length in one of the little baskets. I'm gonna do that thing to try and make it focus. I think it was only like 300 yen for this. I feel like I could use this one a lot because I find that green is, I think of green as fairly neutral. Yeah, those are like trim that I could put on bags, or if I'm like finishing into a pillow or something. This was at one of the tomato standalone shops further down the street. I think this is from Tomato. Like I said, no, this is definitely in Nippori Fabric town. So it's a cross-stitch kit. There's the back side, you can look at it. I don't read Japanese very well, so I don't know exactly what count it is, but it's all included, and the frame as well, so I thought that was good. And the price, see there's two prices there, and I don't know whether it's before and after tax, and I feel like it might be. Just under $20, frame included. I found this Cosmo branded Ada. And this is a 14 count. So in Japan they count their fabric differently as well. So this is 55. I don't know whether that's stitches. It can't be 55 stitches per centimeter. 10 centimeters. So in 10 centimeters, yeah, in 10 centimeters there's 55 stitches. I think that's how they categorize the fabric in Japan, is by centimeter, by 10 centimeter lots. It's another kit that I found. It's just under $10 AUD after converting, and it's a little like there's dango, some sort of mochi I think, and a matcha. Super cute. Has the frame included. Like, how could I not? How could I not? And maybe I can use some of that like pink lace or something to dress it up. Or maybe I can turn it into like a tiny pillow or a ornament and use the pink lace that I bought to do that, and use the tiny frame for something else. It's another one that I picked up. Again, just under $10 AUD. I've always wanted to try making a biscornu, but I thought I'd never like found one that I had to have. And then I was getting all of these kits from Tomato, and they just, I was in a buying mood. You know what it's like. You know, I wasn't going to go out of my way to buy a biscornu, but when it's all here, kitted up for me, ready to go. The beautiful colors, and I think they're using them as like a key ring or something, or like a decoration, like a keychain. But I assume you could use it as a pin cushion. It's an Anchor branded, or maybe it's just Anchor thread and not Anchor brand. So let's open this one up. The booklet. There's fluff for stuffing. There's a needle in some red felt. There's some like pink or red floss. There's the metallic floss. Looks like the metallic floss that I've got in one of my Dimensions kits. Yeah, see, there's the stuff for the keychain and the pearl for the top, and the fabric for the stitching, and the backing fabric, which is textured. I don't know if you can see. And then a little instruction booklet here. It's got the pattern, and it's all diagrams for the instructions. Yeah, so I should be able to work this out. Oh yeah, there's instructions on how to make the tassel as well that goes with it. And there at the end you can see the finished diagram with all of the labels. So I'm not too stressed about it being in Japanese. I can read katakana. I can't really read kanji. Can read hiragana fairly well, but there's Google Translate, which will work well enough to sort out how to figure it out. And I can always like Google or YouTube how to make a biscornu and get an idea of like how other people make theirs, and I'm sure I can stumble through it. And it doesn't really matter if I mess up, as long as I'm, you know, having fun. That's the main thing, right? That's what I got to remind myself, because otherwise I get too caught up in doing it wrong. So that's the biscornu kit. And this is a bit of a whip. I said earlier that I'd started sashiko, so I've also bought this piece of sashiko fabric. And the funniest thing, so I didn't really start, you can see a little bit there, and I'm not going to unfold it, you get the idea. So I bought this fabric because it matched the secret fabric, or I picked it out in the store because the colours matched it, and I didn't realise it was sashiko fabric until I got to the counter, and the staff told me that the print on this will wash out in warm water, and I was like, oh, it must be a sashiko fabric. So then later on, when I went to Yuzawaya, I bought sashiko thread and needles to embroider it. So that's everything that I got from Nippori Fabric Town. It is quite a long street, and there are shops on the side streets, but what I'd say, in what I did, is if you go to the JR station, just before the exit in the JR station, there is a tourist information desk that has the maps. You can ask them any questions that you have. So I would recommend grabbing yourself a map, sitting down at one of the cafes or restaurants nearby, because there's a whole heap near the station, and then a couple at the end of the street as well, and I think there's like one or two spotted in between, but there's not as much food like on the actual street itself. So what we ended up doing, we got dropped off at by bus because we were coming across from Asakusa, so we weren't on the JR line, like the Yamamoto line. So we walked down the street, grabbed a few things, and then ended up getting a map and some coffee, and then I sat down with the map and I circled the stores that I was interested in going to so that I didn't miss any while I was walking back up the street headed towards the bus stop where we were going to, so I could hit all the stores that I wanted to up the street. What I'd recommend if I went again was getting off at the JR station, grabbing the map, circling the things that I want to go see, going up one side of the street, so maybe like the left side of the street, hitting everything that I want to see, and then turning around and going down the left side, coming back, so you'd hit both sides of the street, so you don't have to cross the street all the time. All the shops on one side, all the shops on the other side, come back to the station, and that'll take you a couple of hours depending on how much you want to look at and how interested you are. So maybe get breakfast while you're circling, and then by the time you get back it'll be lunch or brunch. Grab some more food, get on the train, and head to your next destination. So you probably could spend a whole day there if you were wanting to look at every single store, or if you're really into like dressmaking or clothes making, you'll probably stop at a few more stores than I did, and it potentially might be a whole day thing. But I think you can knock it over in a morning, or, you know, most things don't open until 10. So get there around then, grab your breakfast, you know, a couple hours there. You could head out by 1 or 2 o'clock, and most things are open until 7 or 8 o'clock most days in Tokyo, from what I've noticed. So you could hit another destination definitely in the one day if you wanted to. So that was my experience at Nippori Fabric Town. The next place I've been talking about a lot already is, yeah, Yuzawaya. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I might be remembering the name wrong, but it's like a chain craft store. If you're in Australia, it's sort of like Spotlight. I don't know what the American equivalent is. Maybe like Michael's or something. I think I heard a lot of people say. That might be better than that. It's definitely better than Spotlight. Like, I'm so jealous that we don't have Yuzawaya in Australia. I'm just dragging all of the things over. So we'll start with this piece of fabric, which is supposed to go with this piece of fabric. I spent like 300 yen on this piece. So they go together. And then this piece of fabric, which is like a cotton duck, it feels like. I got this for 660 yen, and it goes with my strawberry fabric. Yuzawaya has such a great selection of almost everything you could ever want in like a fabric fiber arts store. Or at least the one that I went to. I'll throw in the address of the one that I went to. It's near Asakusa. I think it's where the Ginza and Yamamoto lines meet or something like that. We hit it on the way home from Akihabara back to Asakusa. So some sashiko threads that I picked up. I wasn't sure how much I'd need because I'd never looked into it, and I bought way too much thread. I don't have the prices for these. They're a Cosmo brand. They're 30-meter spools. I had so much fun making that pouch on that workshop that I picked this up. Isn't he the cutest? A little red panda with a coffee cup. And it's embroidery, and then you make it into a purse or a pouch. And it's got like all the bits for the pouch, the fabric, the embroidery designs already printed on the fabric, so you don't have to think about that. It's all in one. And that's interfacing there, that white thing. I'm very excited to try that. And then I thought I could just put cross-stitch things in there. So like this could go in a project bag and have a little pair of scissors and some thread wax or something in it, you know. Cute little things. And how could I resist? Look at this Sumiko Garashi. Look at this little guy in a little dinosaur suit, and it's a keychain. Like a keychain. Full stop. And a little picture on the back. It's got like, it's got this piece and this piece and this piece to cut out, and then it's got all of your threads, and it's got the keychain, it's got the fluff. You can see it all in the bottom here. Look. Look. I'm gonna have the best time making this. It's gonna be my favorite thing ever. And they had a pretty good selection of cross-stitch kits. A lot of them, there was a wall full of this brand. And we translated what this guy was saying, and it has something to do with like cross-stitch helps your brain be smarter, or something like that. Like it's got all these stats about like how good cross-stitch is for your brain. So like Sudoku, I think they're comparing it to maybe, or something, I don't know. But that's Fujisan with sakura blossoms, and this one is Kinkakuji with the autumn foliage. And both of these are huge count fabric. I think it's a 9 count. This one here is an Olympus kit. So you can see that brand. I think it's a Japanese brand, Olympus. And the red one, I don't know what brand that is. I can't read it. Tori. I guess I could translate it, but... And it is, you can just see it on the side there, also a big count. It might be an 11 count. But I do love a good kit because everything's in it and you can just start it. I picked up some needles. So these are cross stitch. It's got it written in katakana there. Cosmo brand. I do really love using 26, so I got a whole pack of 26 size because I find myself using them a lot. And then a multi-pack. I've started using them. I really enjoy using them. They're great. I picked up this little, like, I think it's a fat quarter bundle. 35 centimeters by 30 centimeters, 100% cotton. But I just love it. I love this, like, dusty pink color. You saw with the cats one that I bought earlier. I think I found this at this store. I may have found it somewhere else. I can't remember, but it's another Cosmo Ada. This is 16 count, so that's 65 stitches per 10 centimeters. And I also picked up from the discount bin this pre-cut quilted fabric from Demon Slayer. So this is a secret project that I'm going to do for somebody else for Christmas. I'm gonna make this into something for somebody. I was looking for Dragon Ball Z fabric. I couldn't find Dragon Ball Z fabric. I don't know if I was looking in the wrong place. I didn't see a whole heap of character fabrics. There wasn't like a ton of anime fabric that I saw, unless I missed it or I didn't go to the right place. Like I saw the Sumiko Gurashi. I think there was probably a fair bit of Hello Kitty. There tends to be a lot of Sanrio stuff because it's super popular. But I think this is the only like anime fabric that I recognize that I saw. Not that I'm like the biggest fan, but I am a big anime fan, but I'm not like, my memory's not good enough to like recognize things off the top of my head all the time. And the anime that's popular for otaku in Japan is sometimes very different to what the like global most popular animes are. The next store that I went to was Kohana. The Kohana Nihonbashi store, which is the flagship store for Kohana, who also have an online store. I'm in love with Kohana products. I've got a few of their mini scissors already before the trip, and I think I spent nearly $40 on those Australian. So I knew I had to visit the Kohana store while I was there because everything would be in yen and I would be not having to pay for the shipping and handling and the what's it called when you exchange of the currency, and also the markup for a different retailer selling a Kohana product. Now I had to take the packaging off a lot of these things. So this is some still in packaging, most of it not. Clear myself of a little space. This is a waxed canvas little mini tote. I've been eyeing these off. I got a few things that I'd been eyeing off and a few things that I saw that were just beautiful and I needed them. So I picked up these, another set of mini scissors. I just love these. The name in Japanese has something to do with the fact that the handles, the handles look like beans. And they come with their own little leather sheath. And it's got the little yellow. And the idea with Kohana is that their products are handmade by artisans from around Japan. So it's not just Kohana themselves that are making these products in-house. They're commissioning artisans from, like, you know how some cities in Japan or towns in Japan are known for like certain crafts or certain things that they make. The Kohana commissions or works with these people. So that's needles there. These are hand sewing needles, so they're very fine. So like, so they would make, so like they have leather work from a certain place, all of their metal works from a certain place, all of the like stone or pottery. So like this is what do you call it when it's pottery? Clay. And then the little tassels come from another place. So this is a quick unpick. And it's just, I don't know how to describe the feeling of it. Maybe it's just because I'm obsessed and I'm biased, but it's a beautiful ceramic, I think is the word I was looking for. Quick unpick with a leather case. And my other one's a hand-me-down that I've had for forever, and it's getting blunt and I need to re-wax the tip of that, but it's just, I don't know. I love the product, so I spent my money there. So that's that one that I've already opened. And everything comes in beautiful packaging. So like, for example, this is how it comes packaged. And Kohana is one of the stores that I forgot to film in because I was just in my own world. It was just, everything is displayed like this for the most part in its packaging. Like a beautiful little nest. It's got a little booklet with it. It's, you know, this is how they come. Like I said, I took a lot of the packaging off before I packed it in the suitcase. So that's a tiny pin cushion there in the little wooden box. And then the grey tassel mini scissors and a tiny little basket that makes it look like a bird's nest. And I just love that. Like, instead of a needle minder, sometimes I might want a little pin cushion. And now I have a tiny pin cushion. Who doesn't love tiny things? And this is another set. So like, they do a lot of limited edition stuff as well. They have like their main core line, and then they do like seasonal or anniversary sets, or, you know, they might have a certain person work on a certain line or something, I believe. So, you know, beautiful. And everything is like packaged with care, and the packaging is something else, I'm telling you. Like, this little scissor is all wrapped up in his own little case so that it can't get damaged. Even the little handles on these scissors are a different color to their normal line. So you saw before the normal line is like that dark brown. These are a lighter grey scissor handle and a pink leather. They're just beautiful. And like, the little box has a little shelf, and this is like a felt covered shelf for the scissors to sit on, so that, you know, this little, sorry, I lied, it's not felt, it's foam, but it feels like felt or velvet. So this little box is where it sits in, and then it comes with this little suede, I think they're made out of. It's not leather, it's suede. But Kohana branding on the inside. This is an elastic little tie. And like, I'm imagining that I would put maybe the little scissors in here, or, you know, and then I could tighten it up. I'm doing it where you can't see it. But my little scissors are in there, or I could put my thread ends in there, and it's got the little button. And it's suede. It just feels beautiful. I don't know. Another thing that I've been thinking about since I first found Kohana, they have these glass head pins, and I don't need to spend money on fancy pins, but I've been thinking about these pink glass head pins for forever. So while I was there, I picked them up, and they come in this gorgeous little wooden box with the branding wood burnt on, and this little elastic tie with a little flower on it. it's just, I don't want to say I saved money because I bought more Kohana stuff than I probably would if I didn't visit, but buying it there is cheaper than buying it in Australia if you're there. This is my pride and joy. It was wrapped up beautifully as well, but there's this wooden box that it comes in, and these are my new fabric scissors. So the box comes apart and it's got this beautiful cloth, and it's just a cloth, right? But like, the lacquered handled full-size fabric shears. In the like mauve baby pink color. And it comes with a little leather sheath with a little tassel. And it is just, I know I keep saying this, but it's just stunning. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Like, and I feel confident that these products are something that I can love and use for years. The little information card. Look how tiny, look how cute. And I'm sure it's got a lot of information about the product and, you know, care and stuff. I'll probably keep this and just translate it to make sure I'm not missing anything. But like I keep saying, they're just beautiful, and I'll keep the little wooden boxes and use them for stuff, because cross stitch has all of those little tiny bits and pieces that you need or you can have while you're making it. So the only thing that is a shame is that the scissors don't fit into the wooden box when they've got the sheath on them. It makes them a little bit longer. So, but like I said, I can put stuff in the box. Like this wooden box can be like, I don't know, my floss box for a project, or even like trinkets and bits and bobs, or maybe I can put like I can even maybe finish a cross stitch on the front of it, I don't know. I'm keeping the box. So those are all the products that I got from Kohana, and I had an amazing time at their store. It's just a small store, like the showroom part of it. I think there are other parts where they hold workshops and stuff sometimes, but the showroom is quite small with a table in the middle and then shelves on either wall with all of the different products that they currently have in stock. And you can get a basket and you just take the products, I believe. The fabric shears, I just asked for the pink ones because they just had display ones out, I believe. And the same, they have an embroidery scissors as well with the lacquered handles. I didn't pick any of those up this time, but those were also on display. And there was also a the red set, the limited edition red set coming out the following day, but because we had limited time, I didn't end up going back to Kohana. And the last store that I visited, I think it was, I went to it after I went to Kohana, was Echizenya, it's called. It's a cross-stitch specialty store. And when I was looking before I left for this trip, I was having trouble finding information about where to purchase cross-stitch specific stuff from. So I'd heard about Nippori Fabric Town. There's lots of different creators who've made videos about going to Nippori Fabric Town to buy fabric. But I didn't find anyone talk about cross-stitch specialty stores from when they visited Japan. I found in the comments on booking.com or Reddit or something, somebody had suggested Echizenya, which is in, I believe it's in Ginza. It's quite close to the Kohana store, relatively speaking. I think they're about a 20-minute walk apart, 20 or 30 minutes, depends if you stop. So we walked from Kohana to Echizenya, and I think we stopped halfway at a cafe. That's what I do a lot. I walk for 10 or 15 minutes and then I find a food place to sit down at if we're walking for 20 or 30 minutes somewhere or other. I think you can catch a bus or a train between the two of them as well, but so it is in the front of what looks like an office building. On the corner there they have a big glass display of all different cross-stitch stuff, and inside it's 2 floors. So the top floor has all of the threads, and I believe they had Cosmo, they had DMC, they had Anchor. I'm not sure if they had anything Olympus branded, I can't remember. And there's also specialty flosses there as well. And on the second floor they had this display wall of all the different cross-stitch kits as well. They had a lot of Olympus, not a lot of Olympus, that was downstairs. On the top floor they had a lot of international kits. I think there was some Merezhka, I think there was Riolis, I think, I'll have the photo up now. Downstairs there was scissors and accessories and fabric. There was a whole wall of different cross-stitch fabrics, and there was also a stand that had books. I think some of it was for crochet, and knitting is the other word. This is what I ended up picking up from Echizenya, but you definitely could get more stuff. I think it's partially because it was the last store that I went to, and also because I wasn't kitting anything up. It would be a great store to go to if you had a particular project that you needed to buy floss and fabric for, because they have everything you could need there. So I picked up this book, which I think is Chinese New Year animals and stuff. It's a book by DMC by the looks of it. It's branded on the back there. And there was a couple of other cross-stitch books as well, but I only picked up ones that I knew I would, or things that I felt I would really stitch from. I loved this rooster. And because realistically I have enough stuff to cross-stitch for probably the next 10 or 20 years. I don't need more, I just want more because it's my hobby and I love collecting it. So I try to keep in mind whether or not I actually will stitch something or whether I just like the look of it as well. So it looks like all of the previews are at the front of the book, and then all of the patterns are at the back of the book. I'm trying to see if there's any others that I can show you. There's the dogs, snake, dragon. All sorts, and like from one little pattern obviously you can make like a wall hanging, you can make a pillow, you can make something for a project bag, a book sleeve, an ornament, like all sorts of stuff. And downstairs, like I was saying, they had a shelf full of what they do is actually they've got a printed photo of this cover image and then they laminate it, and that's all hanging on a display rack. So they don't actually have all of the kits out, which I think is a great like space saving for the display. So I picked out this one. There was another one that I saw that was beautiful. It was more of like a, in the style of like old ink painting style. You know, I think it had Fujisan in it and something else. I can't remember exactly. It was beautiful. I would have picked it up, but it was out of stock. And I also saw this one, and I do like orchids. It is a 9 count, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it is a big stitch count. And I can't remember the prices of the other 2 kits that I showed you, but this one was 5,940 yen. So that'd be just over $60 Australian. When we went on the trip, the exchange rate was nearly 1-to-1. It was like 95 cents AUD to 100 yen, roughly, give or take. I think I said this is an Olympus branded kit. Needle, fabric, floss. And like I said, they had a huge wall of fabric, and at the bottom of the stairs they had a couple of bins of discount fabric. So I got this yellow one, and if I can look at the tag here, So there's 140 by 19 centimeters, I think. So if I understand correctly, this is the full width, and then it's a long piece. So it's like an offcut or the end of a bolt or something. And then I paid, I'm a little bit confused by the pricing because there's like 4 different prices there. So I don't actually know what I paid. I'm gonna say I paid about $10 for it. I've got a little ruler thing that has the count so I can figure out what count it is. Pretty yellow color. It's a blend. So it's 52 and 48%. I think it's cotton. And that's the yellow, like a buttercup yellow. And I got this Ada, which is just like a beige or taupe. I feel like it would go with a lot of things, and it just looked like you can almost see the drape inside the bag, right? It's beautiful. This is 90 centimeters by 29 centimeters, so again another like long skinny cut. I think I paid about $7 AUD. 6.5 stitches per what? I don't know. It's got it written here. It's 100%. I assume that's cotton. 100%. That's that one. And I also picked up this beautiful like periwinkle. It's like lavender. 140 by 22 centimeters. I think I paid about $12 for this one by the looks of it. And 10 stitches per whatever it is, and that's another blend. So that's what I picked up from Echizenya. Of all of the stores that I visited, if you're looking for cross-stitch, needlework, embroidery, your best bet, I think, in Tokyo, easiest to find, would be Yuzawaya. It's got everything you could probably want to look for, and there are many different ones dotted around Tokyo. And you can find kits there, you can find embroidery kits, all of that sort of stuff that's like easy to pick up. You can find needles, you can find scissors, pretty much whatever you need, you can find it Yuzawaya. If you're looking to kit up a project, or you're wanting to pick up specific fabrics or specific flosses, maybe you're looking to pick up specific Cosmo floss, or you wanted to get a mix of Cosmo, DMC, and Anchor, because I haven't seen them all together in one store in Australia before. Usually they're exclusive, like a shop will either have DMC or Cosmo, or it will, I don't even think I've seen Anchor in person. So if that's what you're looking for, like to kit up something, I would say Echizenya, the specialty store, is definitely where you should go. I think it's worth hitting up if you're really into cross stitch anyway, if you can make it over to Ginza during your trip. The other stores that I hit were more fabric stores. So the Tomato stores, I only went to Tomato on Nippori Fabric Town, so I'm not sure if every Tomato store carries cross stitch, but one of them on Nippori Fabric Town did carry a selection of cross stitch and a full set of, I think they had DMC. And they had all of like the needles and the bits and the bobs that you need to go with it. I think all 3 of those places, if I'm not mistaken, carried hoops. I'm not. If you're looking for fabric and you're in Kyoto, I can definitely recommend Nomura Tailor. They had fabric by the meter as well on the bolts. I just chose to get the pre-cut because it was easier to purchase and easier for me to pack for my needs. If you're in Tokyo and you're looking for fabric, Nippori Fabric Town is a great experience, but you are going to be in like cramped specialty stores that often have like chaotic displays. I went on a Saturday and it was very busy, so there's a potential if you go on a Saturday, it will also be busy. I don't know what a weekday is like. I didn't make it to Nippori Fabric Town on a weekday. And it's not going to be as like organized as somewhere like Yuzawaya. If you're wanting like a neat and organized experience that has both pre-cuts and fabric by the meter on easy displays with, I think the pricing was pretty easy to see at Yuzawaya from memory. And it also has like every imaginable color of bias binding you could ever need, and all different zipper colors and trims. Like the extras were also a big selection at Yuzawaya. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're more into like bag or purse making or anything like that, and you want something that's like a one-stop shop, a bigger Yuzawaya store. I know some of them are small, like ones that might be in the bottom of like train stations or in other department buildings, but the one I went to had everything that I could ever need. I think there's multi-story ones elsewhere. So Yuzawaya is definitely what I would recommend if that's what you're looking for. And I think that covers most of everything that I wanted to talk about from my fabric / craft / cross stitch shopping adventures in Japan, specifically Kyoto and Tokyo. I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to mention while I was here. If you do have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. I'll try my best to answer any questions or give you a link to any places where you might be able to find your answers. And if you were just here for the haul, thanks for hanging out. I appreciated having you here. If you like cross stitch, I do make monthly, so far I've been okay at it. I try and make monthly updates on my whips, my works in progress for my cross stitch, so you can come back and see me in November if that's what you wanted to see. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.